Suzy Wrong, Joy Drive's film, TV and theatre reviewer.
It is 14 minutes past 5. Suzy Wrong, welcome back to Joy Drive.
Thank you. Happy Lunar New Year to everyone.
Happy Lunar New Year to you. How is it in your hot, steamy house there in Sydney?
It is steamy, but I'm looking forward to the week of rain starting tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a little bit of rain earlier today, and I think there's more on the way for us tomorrow as well.
Hey, and also I need to say, may the year of the tiger bring to everyone great prosperity and a clean bill of health, please.
Thank you, Suzy.
Thank you.
We wish the same for you as well. Now,
Today
we are talking about Somebody Somewhere, which is currently streaming on Binge. Do you want to give us a bit of an overview of it?
Sam is in a hopeless place, literally as well as metaphorically. After a year in her hometown of Manhattan, Kansas, where she had returned to mourn the death of her sister, Sam finds herself stuck in the family home, unable to move past a deep sadness that seems to be about a lot more than losing a beloved sibling. In comes Joel, a quirky, irrepressibly optimistic gay man who swoops in for the rescue and quickly becomes Sam's best friend. The title of the comedy series is Somebody Somewhere, streaming on Binge. It features Bridget Everett in her first starring role. Fans of stand-up comedy would no doubt be familiar with her bawdy body of work. In this series, however, Everett presents a much more subtle and pensive style of performance. There's a mesmerizing quality to how the story is told, and although unconventionally rendered, I found the sense of humor in Somebody Somewhere to be really captivating and often genuinely hilarious. We are only 3 episodes in so far, but the show drops so many mysterious hints about what is to come, and I will for sure be watching every week to find out more. Edmund Warren, doesn't Joel's church choir nights look like a lot of fun?
Oh, so
I would
much
love
fun.
to go. Yes, 100%.
I really love it. I love the fact how, it deals with Joel being, a gay Christian as well, and you can see he's kind of dealt with that internal conflict, hasn't he, of going to a
still
Christian
is, I
church.
think.
I think so too, and he sort of justifies it by saying, you know what, I belong here. And I thought, oh, well, how's that? He's at peace with it. I'm not religious at all. I just think it's great to see that it shows the comfort that religion can provide to some. It's embracing a group of misfits and it's making them feel like they belong. I think that's great.
Yeah, I love that mature take of it. I think one of the things that I've learned from growing older is that I think when I was younger, I was very critical about people who love religion. I couldn't understand it, and I was very angry of what religion had done to me and people like me, and I couldn't forgive people that embraced it. But now I see in the way it's so good for so many people, and you just can't judge it that way, can you?
I agree. It's a different way of looking at it. I've got to admit, though, when I see that it does prey on their vulnerabilities, that's when I get concerned. But in this series, it hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Why I was so keen to bring this show to our attention was because, we don't have many shows about middle-aged people, especially middle-aged women, and especially middle-aged women who don't look anything like Hollywood people. And there's something to be said. I mean, it's a cliche sort of topic to talk about, I guess. But when I was watching it, I thought, wow, without all that glitz and gloss to look at, you really are looking at talent, and you really are looking at depth of feeling, and I feel like the actors didn't have to sort of be very overwrought about what they bring to the screen, but somehow I feel very much in tune with what they were trying to convey. And when I was writing my summary, I felt like, there wasn't much of a story really, but really just sort of being in the presence of these people felt really, really deep and very genuine.
Absolutely. I think that, I totally agree on so many levels. And the two things that really stood out to me watching these first few episodes, well, actually 3 things. Firstly, I absolutely want to keep watching and I want to know what happens. And I've got some sinister thoughts about Rick, who is the sister's husband. I think that it is, I think it's actually potentially, anyway, not going to give any spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm dying to know.
The other thing that I love about what we've watched so far is that it's very much a show don't tell. Like some scenes will happen and we'll meet a character and we'll have no idea where they are or what they've got to do with the main character or a sub character or whatever. But they just show you,
like
and
the
then
neighbour.
eventually you just know, and then that character gets fleshed out somehow, even just with the story, without being like, this is her neighbor, this is her best friend. I really liked that element of this particular show.
That's really great. Like the way it starts off, making you feel like something traumatic happened, but it doesn't tell you what it is.
Yes.
And it kind of slowly unfolds. And the little bits of information is so intriguing. Like this family of blonde people are mourning the death of this girl that we discover is a black lesbian who they call the sister. And it doesn't explain, it doesn't give you, a lot of information to go on, but you just trust that something's going to happen later.
The other big point that I took away from this, or wanted to share with you, Suzy, is I really loved the supporting cast of this show. I thought everyone had their own place and their own spirit, and that really came through. And I really appreciated the supporting cast immensely. I felt Fred Rococo's character was brilliant.
I think it's the trans actor's name is Murray Hill, and he's amazing. All the people in that sort of church choir, that to me looks like a cabaret open night. I guess that's
so
how you
much
might
fun.
describe it. That sense of community that I think was something that I took away from it as well.
I
Absolutely.
really love Sam. I want to hang out with her. I reckon
Yeah.
she'd be a great friend. We've all been, I guess, lost at some point, haven't we? And for whatever reason. And I just feel like you can see her growing, and she has these struggles. And I think she's got a beautiful friendship with Joel.
Yeah, I love
and
that
I love
friendship.
the friendship. And I love the way that friendship just can withstand some truths being told without it, without it damaging the friendship. I think, I want to be part of that group. I loved it. And I think in episode 3, you really see Sam starting to discover herself. And I'm excited to see what's coming next in the next episode.
I really love the performance of Joel, that gay best friend.
Oh, Joel's great.
Because he performs this sort of very light, almost fluffy, older gay man character, but you see him go through like difficult things and just sort of brush them off away and show a lot of strength, a lot of resilience without a lot of struggle, and I admire that so much.
And there's
Absolutely.
a sadness there too, isn't there? Because without spoiling things, you see what his dreams are, and you can see clearly that he's in a spot in this place, this town where those dreams are likely to not get fulfilled, and that's really, really quite sad. And I'm actually really excited to see the next few episodes because I want to see what's going to happen to him, because I think something big's going to happen.
Yeah, at the end of episode 3, something very big and gay happens, remember?
Yes, but I think there's something more happening as well.
I think so much is going to happen. So I
But
would
I think
heartily recommend the show.
I think that what you're referring to, Suzy, is what I think Rick might have to do with. Yes, I think that might be everyone. Anyway, I really want to spoil it. All I want to do is spoil it.
But what you can do is you can go and see it. It is called Somebody Somewhere. It is streaming now on Binge. We've got 3 episodes now. I think, is it on Wednesdays they drop?
Yeah.
So we should have 4 this week.
There you go.
Go see it. Somebody Somewhere on Binge. Suzy Wrong, what are we going to be doing for next week?
And just like that, the Sex and the City reboot comes to an end this week on Binge. I've waited months to talk to you all about this very controversial show, and I cannot wait to hear what Warren has to say about it.
You'll never believe this, but our newsreader Dave Allen literally said to us today, I'm surprised Suzy hasn't spoken to you about this yet.
I have waited for it to end because there's so much to argue about, and I feel like it hasn't finished making its statement. So I feel like when it drops on Thursday, the finale, we'll be able to talk about it more properly.
So,
Perfect.
and just like that, where is it?
On Binge.
Binge. Fantastic. All right. I look forward to it.
Thanks so much for joining us, Suzy.
See you next Tuesday. Thank you.
See you, Suzy.